Welcome to Write Club PHX. The Sage versus Naughty Mouse. Come on to the stage for the Grand Pro Shampoo. Alright, the Bookish Brawler. Let's go, Naughty Mouse. Get up here.
Let's go, Naughty Mouse.
Naughty Mouse with fact. Are you ready?
10-4, good buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Write Club audience, are you ready? Naughty Mouse with fact in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Fact doesn't stand opposed to fiction. I don't think fact even stands opposed to opinion. Because now the world in which we live in is one where you can pick your facts and therefore choose the world in which you're living in. In Nashville, I'd walk a few miles each way each day to sit in the basement and annotate the dead baby files. Folders and boxes stacked in piles. This was the discovery phase, pre-trial, dry words for a fuckery most dark and vile. But what should we call the accumulated records of all the dead little kids who could easily have lived? I learned that summer that you can die from an abscessed tooth, because the infection will spread if it gets down into the roots. It reaches the nerves and it hurts when it reaches the blood. That's sepsis. And I literally could not fucking get this. Like, sure, in dry statistical terms, death is rare. But so too was that child. For they were not just unique, but they are now just raw, cold meat. I tell you this because their ghosts haunt me and say that their story I must share. See, that child had parents who tried and cared, but they had lost their health insurance, which in a just world would not be a conceivable occurrence. They took their child to 3 different hospitals, but treating dying kids is not often profitable. So their kid went from loved to lived. Sad proof that it often doesn't matter how much love a parent may have to give. And if you make a pile of all that proof, for that child is just one among many. It's about 8 feet by 10 feet by about yay big for a couple of years in one state. Without universal health insurance, that's an awful lot of rare occurrences, and they accumulate. I learned that summer that you can die from an abscessed tooth, that infants still die from dehydration and constipation, that people gasp their last in hospital parking lots, that it's recorded. All of this is duly reported, and I think that we let it be distorted when we think about the numbers instead of the pain and the hunger, the long nights, the numb kids, and the crying mothers. In New York, I worked as a guardian ad litem because the world's got monsters, and I thought if I get there before the child is already dead, then maybe I can help fight them. In a job like that, you have to laugh. You can scream or you can cry. But if you try to bottle it up long term in order to get by, you need to learn to laugh, buttercup. My first day, my first file on an actual living child was one that we all called Toilet Baby. She came screaming into this world, a breathing brand new baby girl, and landed directly in a dirty toilet. Her mother cut the cord, went back to bed, and re-snorted because it was a good high. No need to let a little thing like birth spoil it. She woke up still doped up, but aware that she needed to call 911 and let the paramedics follow the blood to see if the source was a daughter or a son. She was sentenced to parenting classes, drug counseling, and reunited with her child at the hospital. And to anyone who thinks that should not be possible, I hope you see that the larger situation is that fucking awful. That year, the state of New York closed 300 beds at the end of every month, which meant 300 kids had no place to lay their heads. Good luck, get fucked. The world is cold and life is hard. The shelter is full, but here's their card. Your court date is 6 months from today, so if you stay alive, I will see you around the way. Every day, there are these broadcasts that we call the news, and they do not offer you updates on the numbers of unhoused and abused, the humans who are living in crisis, but instead provide you with stock prices and updates on the latest devices. And the fact that we are not confused should show you how badly our brains have been misused. We don't need to ignore fact in favor of fiction. if the news allows us the crime of omission, so we don't even see the world in which we're living? Fact or fiction? I choose to mix truth with rhythm and diction, because I'm on a mission. Thank you for listening. This is Pulp.
Yeah, make some noise for Bloody Mouth.